Hey, what's up you guys? It's me, True Brilliance, back with a video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about Mars, okay? We're going to be talking about that masculine energy and how it expresses itself in the natal chart. Now, your Mars placement is very important. A lot of the times it's often overlooked by astrologers or just by the average person when looking at your natal chart. But our Mars energy, it talks about how we express our masculinity, and it talks about how we go after our desires, how we go after achieving what it is that we want. So Mars actually plays a major role in manifesting. You know how when they say you put it out into the universe what it is that you want, right? So that's mainly like Venus. Venus is our desires as well. Venus is what we want, what we are attracted to, okay? So obviously what we are attracted to is what we want to experience in our reality. So Venus is kind of like a wish that we make. It's like a wish, us wishing upon a star. Like, I would like to experience this reality. I would like to experience this lover. I would like to experience this person, right? And then Mars is the actions and the steps that you take in order to achieve that, because you know how they always say you ask for something and then you have to take action. Okay, so Mars is the actual taking action. Okay, you just can't wish for stuff or want stuff but don't take action in your reality in order to get it. So taking action and the desire of wanting to obtain something work hand in hand. So Venus is wanting to obtain something and wanting to have something, because remember, Venus is I have, right? And Mars is how you go about getting what it is that you will eventually have, okay? So you have to take action in order to achieve your desires. So that is what we're going to talk about, getting into the Mars placements. Now, some people are really at a huge advantage when it comes to their Mars placements. In my opinion, the best Mars placements are Mars in Capricorn, Mars in Aries, Mars in Scorpio, and Mars in Leo. To me, those are the four most powerful Mars placements, okay? Now, the weakest Mars placements are Mars in Cancer, which I have, Mars in Cancer, Mars in Taurus, Mars in Libra, and Mars in Pisces, okay? I would say would be like the weakest Mars placements, okay? The weak Mars placements are strong in other areas, and I will talk about that when we get into the Mars series. So let's talk about rulership of Mars. Mars naturally rules Aries and Scorpio, okay? So Aries is external Mars and Scorpio is internal Mars, okay? So this is why they say Scorpio is intense, okay? So because it's an inner tension, okay? That's Mars. Okay, the inner buildup, the fire building up inside of yourself. It's passion. That's what Mars and Scorpio is. Okay, Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Okay, so Mars does very well in Capricorn. I think Mars in Capricorn is almost the strongest Mars placement. I've seen Mars in Capricorn in action, and it's very powerful. And Mars falls in, oh, it's in detriment in Libra, and it falls in Cancer, okay? And that's because Cancer is the opposite of its exaltation, and Libra is the opposite of its home, which is in Aries, okay? Taurus as well, because it naturally rules Scorpio as well, okay? So we're going to get into Mars through all of the signs for you guys to understand your Mars placement better and how your Mars energy expresses itself. One thing that you need to learn about your Mars is do not fight against your Mars, okay? That's not going to get you anywhere in life, fighting against your Mars. If anybody knows this, it's me with my Mars in Cancer. You have to learn how to go with the flow of your Mars placement, and you just gotta kind of accept your losses. If you have a weak Mars placement, you have to accept your losses and learn how to work within the energy of that sign, okay, if you want to get anything done at all. Mars also rules your energy levels, okay? So this is another thing that a lot of people don't know, is that Mars rules your energy levels, okay? So people that like have Mars in Cancer or Mars in Taurus, they have very low energy levels, okay? So they may need to exercise more or just do things to become more active because they can have low vitality. So when your Mars is in like a feminine sign, you can have low vitality. You don't have that much energy. People that have like Mars and fire signs, you'll notice that they're very energetic. They have a lot of energy to burn. Sometimes it's hard for them to sit still. Okay, Mars also rules our sexuality. People don't talk about this, but Mars rules how we express our sexuality, okay? Because if you think about it, the sexual act is something that is very Mars-like in nature because you're exerting your energy, right? That's why people sweat. That's why people are hot. That's why people are out of breath. That's why it feels like, you know, afterwards, like you just got done running miles, okay, at the park. You're tired, right? You're tired after it. So that's why literally Mars rules sex, and a lot of people don't know about that, okay? But Mars rules how we like doing that, and it also rules what we are attracted to when doing that, and what turns us on, what gets our fire going, because Mars is our inner fire. So it's our fire and desire. Y'all know what I mean? So this is what gets our engines going, okay? We are going to be talking about that as well when discussing the Mars placements. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about Mars in Gemini. Now, I feel like Mars in Gemini is a very interesting placement. I actually have a couple of people that I'm really close with that have Mars in Gemini, and you guys are definitely entertaining people, that's for sure. Very entertaining, very energetic. So one thing about Mars in Gemini is that you guys cannot sit still. Like, you guys are busy bodies. When people talk about busy bodies, they're talking about you. They're talking about Mars in Gemini, okay? And I've even seen this with people that have Mars and Gemini in Earth houses. Like, they're still busy bodies and cannot stay still or cannot be in one place for too long because you guys like a variety of things to do. So people that have Mars and Gemini, one thing about you guys is you guys can lack focus, okay? Because when we're thinking about Mars, how does Mars express itself? Through the air element. So Mars expresses itself through the mind, okay, when you have Mars in Gemini. So you guys have a very active mind and mental state. You guys like to communicate when your Mars is sparked. So when you are interested in something, when you are fired up about something, when you are inspired by something, you guys like to communicate about it. So you guys are big communicators. So if you have Mars and Gemini, even if you have all earth and water signs, you're still going to be somebody that likes to talk and likes to communicate when you have Mars and Gemini, because the way you express your masculine energy is through communication. Now, this makes you guys very intelligent, and this can make you guys finessers. I'm not even gonna lie, because the Mars and Gemini people I know are big finessers, and they finesse people through their words because you guys can really have the gift to gab. So it's like you guys use your words in order to get what it is that you want. Okay, that's how you guys get what you want, through your mouthpiece. Okay, so you guys are very intellectual, very intelligent, and you guys say whatever it is that you have to say to get your needs met. Okay, just plain and simple. So people can't be mad at that just because you know how to think quick on your feet, right, in order to get what it is that you want. Now, you can really use Mars and Gemini in a career as well. Like, you guys make really good salespeople. You guys make people that are in media, or people that just have to do a lot of talking in their day-to-day interactions. You guys are very good at that, okay? So being like a talk show host or something like that, or even being on YouTube, are really good things for Mars and Gemini people. You guys usually have a lot of things going on at one time. That's why I call you guys busybodies, because you guys have a lot of things going at once. You guys are those people that's like always busy. If people call you, you guys are always in the car. Like all the Mars and Gemini people that I know are always driving. Okay, that's another huge manifestation of Mars and Gemini. You guys are always on the road. You guys are always en route, because Gemini rules short distance travel. Okay, so you guys are like always going from one point A to point B, one spot to another. Mars and Gemini people also usually are really lucky with obtaining cars. That's another thing that I noticed about Mars and Gemini. You guys have to have a car. You guys have to have transportation, because you guys like to move around a lot. So you guys enjoy being stimulated. So you guys are not the type of people that could be around someone that's boring or just doesn't like to talk or doesn't have anything to say, because you guys are very curious. So you like to ask a lot of questions. So it's like you have to be with someone, like if we're going to talk about relationship wise, you guys have to be with somebody that can mentally stimulate you. Now when it comes to sexuality, this is very interesting. Mars and Gemini people can have oral fixations when it comes to sexuality. Okay, so you get my drift. I don't want to get strikes on YouTube or anything like that, but oral fixation. So they like anything that has to deal with that form of sexual interaction, dealing with the mouth. Okay. So I noticed that it's like either they like to receive it or they like to give it. Okay, that's what I've seen. And the men and women that I know with this placement, or like talking about it really is what turns you guys on. Like for some reason, you guys are more turned on by talking about it rather than doing it. That's what I noticed. And when you guys do it, you guys are in your head a lot about it. So you may think a lot about it rather than actually feeling and enjoying the experience. Okay. But also Mars and Gemini people like a lot of variety when it comes to the bedroom. So you guys again cannot be with somebody that's boring. You guys can be into experimentation. Definitely can be into experimentation. Dirty talk during the act can really turn you on. Somebody talking dirty to you and you talking dirty to somebody. Something that you really enjoy, because you want to hear how somebody is feeling. You want somebody to tell you what they want to do to you. That's what turns you on, right? Because Mars is our sexual desires and it's in Gemini, the sign of communication. So you want somebody to communicate to you what they want to do. Tell me, okay? Tell me what you want, okay? And also a lot of verbal communication as far as how somebody feels about you and whatever else, right? Or the possibility, the thought of doing something. Really, so you guys would be somebody that really likes sexting. You may really enjoy sexting with someone. A lot of text messages, a lot of emails, talking on the phone. You guys love to do that. Okay, or if you don't like talking on the phone, because I know this is a new day and age, you just may really enjoy texting. Mars and Gemini people can also keep a lot of things going at one time. So, a lot of people kind of watch out for people that have Venus in Gemini or Mars in Gemini, because it's said that they can have a lot of relations with a lot of people going at the same time. Now, of course, it's going to depend upon the rest of your chart. It's going to depend upon what house your Mars is in. But, sometimes you guys can really enjoy multiple connections, or you feel like you need multiple connections in order to keep you stimulated. But the most thing that you guys look for is intelligence, okay? Somebody that can keep the conversation going. Mars and Gemini can also be a jack of all trades. So it's like you guys can't focus on one thing for too long. It's like you always got to switch your energy up, okay? You guys always got to switch your energy up or switch your environment up, because Gemini rules our immediate environment. So you always got to change, like changing environments is like changing states of mind for Mars and Gemini. So you always gotta switch it up, okay, and have a lot of things going at one time. That's what you feel comfortable with. Okay, Mars and Gemini, this is honestly one of my favorite Mars placements. You wouldn't think that it would be with my Mars placement, but my Mars is in the 9th house, so I really do enjoy Mars and Gemini as a placement. So anyways, go ahead and leave your comments below. Let me know what your Mars house placement is and how that manifests with your Mars and Gemini. Okay, so I will be talking to you guys on the next video.